just call it quits.
We won't call it quits. We'll call it the start.
Øen er helt anderledes end Danmark. Folk der, vejret, vinteren er helt forskellige.
Hello, Happy New Year and welcome to our first film show of the year. We're kicking off with The Banshees of Inisherin, that's tipped for Oscars, a dark and tragic comedy starring Dublin-born duo Brendan Gleeson and Colin Farrell. We remember them from the entertaining 2008 movie In Bruges. Well, the new film is also from writer-director Martin McDonaugh. It addresses the question, what do you do when you want to break up with your friend? And the answer is quite extreme.
Stop talking to me.
Colin?
And if you don't stop bothering me, I have a set of shears at home. And each time you bother me from this day on, I'll take those shears and I'll take one of my fingers off with them and I'll give that finger to you until I have no fingers left. Does this make things clearer to you?
Not really, no.
Starting from now. But shush like, Polly. You know, shush like.
Ja, I'd shush like.
I'm joined in the studio by our film critic Lisa Nesselson. Bonne année, as they say here in France. Now, The Banshees of Inisherin has won awards at the Venice Film Festival. It's been nominated for 7 Golden Globes and is favoured to rack up Oscar nominations. But you are not convinced.
Well, it's exceedingly well made. The entire cast is obviously gung-ho. The setting is stark and photographed with genuine skill. The dark dialogue exchanges are snappy, but personally, I didn't enjoy it much. I won't rule out other demises, but this is definitely about the death of a friendship. 100 years ago, on a sparsely populated island, Pedrick and Colin have a drink at the pub every day. But one day, the older man tells the younger that this ritual will cease because he no longer wishes to be his friend. So there. Pedrick can't believe his ears. This gesture, it's as cruel as it is random. Surely he can't mean it, but he does. Does he ever?
Now, we all know how, well, some of us know how to break up relationships, but it's hard to break up with friends, and things get pretty crazy, don't they?
They get certifiably bat guano crazy, yes. When words don't get the desired result, Colin starts using a rusty-looking sheep-shearing implement to make his point by, well, I'd rather not dwell on it, actually. There are no effective buffers against escalating craziness.
And Colin Farrell's little donkey actually steals the show.
Oh, he does, actually. It has been a great year for donkeys on screen, this, and Jerzy Skolimowski's wonderful EO. Some see a parable about no less a topic than Irish identity. Some sense subtext about the Irish Civil War, which is in full sway somewhere across the water, as in people who should get along simply can't and will take drastic steps to demonstrate that. And for the Golden Globes, oddly enough, it's in the category of musical or comedy rather than drama, which is where I would have put it.
Well, I'm definitely going to watch it anyway, despite maybe you not loving it. Well, from Iceland comes Godland, a historical drama set in the late 19th century in unforgiving landscapes. And I gather you do like this one.
Enormously. This is one of the very best movies showing, and one that will be every bit as good a year from now, 10 years from now, etc., like that. A Lutheran priest, Lucas, is sent from Denmark to make the hazardous journey to rural Iceland to oversee the building of a parish church. Now, Lucas is skilled in the budding field of photography, and his gear includes a bulky camera and a portable darkroom for the heavy and fragile glass plates he uses to document the local populations. In fact, this inventive, intellectually rigorous, and visually thrilling tale was inspired by the discovery of glass plate photographs that had been abandoned long ago in the icy terrain.
Okay, well, let's take a look.
Så må man jorden har skidt i bukserne.
Jeg vil skide min herre Gud, som har skabt mig derinde. Det skrider ikke frem efter mit liv. Jeg kan ikke rejse mere. Jeg kan ikke sove her i nat. Jeg kan ikke tale med nogen. Jeg kan ikke være mere med de her mennesker. Tag tilbage. Rejs hjem. Eller bliv her og dø.
Now, Lucas only only speaks Danish, and his wary guide Ragnar only speaks Icelandic. And when they lose their translator, an already difficult mission becomes an example of God moving in extremely mysterious ways. Lucas's faith is tested, but our patience as viewers never is. It's a remarkable cinematic experience from start to finish. And because of the language barrier, the film is commenting on the absurdity of Denmark deciding it owned Iceland. It might be worth recalling that early in his presidency, Donald Trump offered to buy Greenland from the Kingdom of Denmark and was vocally peeved when he couldn't, for some reason, make what he saw as a beautiful deal.
Memories. Now to a quietly devastating morality tale starring Bill Nighy and Amy Lou Wood, set in 1950s London. Nobel Prize-winning writer Katsuo Ishiguro based the screenplay on a cult Japanese film. This has been described as addressing the weighty matters of life and death with winning simplicity.
Indeed, 70 years ago, Akira Kurosawa made Ikaru, or To Live, the story of a hard-working Japanese office employee who has been so devoted to his job that he forgot to enjoy any of the other things that life purportedly has to offer. When he gets some bad news on the medical front, basically he's a goner, he decides to make up for lost time. In the short window his health permits, he blossoms in believable increments, and we are the privileged witnesses to his reawakening. The truly delightful Bill Nighy, who was a 4-year-old boy when the original came out in Japan, plays a dedicated British office worker in Living. He finds out his days are numbered, and he loosens up several notches before the Grim Reaper comes a-calling, in stately moderation befitting a gentleman, of course. This is masterfully bittersweet, simultaneously downbeat and upbeat, and it's hard to imagine anybody who would not find it worthwhile.
OK, well, let's get a taste of Living.
Mr. Williams, a little on the frosty side, perhaps.
Not too much fun and laughter. Rather like church.
How did it happen? Small wonder I didn't notice what I was becoming.
Dad, you all right?
If only to be alive for one day. But I realize that I don't know how.
That was from Living. Next to one of Paris's most iconic cinemas, the Grand Rex has turned 90. And for the event, the vintage building has been restored to its original glory.
This is such a wonderful place that I'd suggest that tourists who have visited Paris enough to have hit all the agreed-upon major sites really consider the Grand Rex an Art Deco landmark that takes up a whole city block. It's said that in the early 1960s, it was more visited than the Louvre. The Grand Rex's main auditorium holds 2,700 people and boasts the largest screen in Europe. The decor is tastefully kitsch on the inside, and tiny lights imitate sparkling stars up in a beautiful blue sky on the ceiling. Here's the architect who worked on the restoration.
We found architectural plans from 1932, which allowed us to recreate the awning as it was first made. We were able to find the correct colours and uncover the history.
And there were also lots of photographs to work with, since major movie stars often came for gala premieres and still do. In 1957, Gary Cooper inaugurated one of the first escalators in France when the Rex traded in its elevators for moving stairs. There was, in pop culture lore, there was a riot complete with broken windows in 2002 when Britney Spears came to present her timeless film Crossroads. And 20 years ago, Quentin Tarantino came for the premiere of his Kill Bill.
He often premieres his films there. Actually, I interviewed him there once.
Did you?
Yeah.
And they were the first place, I think, to do back-to-back all of the Star Wars films up to that point. People stayed up for 2 days. During World War II, however, the theater was confiscated from the Jewish owner and turned into a cinema reserved for German soldiers. The Rex's original owner, Jacques Haïk, had imported and popularized the films of Charlie Chaplin in France, and he gave him the nickname Charlot, by which he is known to this day. And while restoring a mural, Chaplin's Little Tramp was discovered under an image of a clown with a red nose. The Germans hated Chaplin and had simply painted over him. 2 months after the liberation of Paris, electricity was rationed, but the ingenious Grand Rex hooked up a generator to the projector, and using fuel left behind by genocide, the Germans opened for business again, so there. The cascading plumes of water set to music, known as Les Fêries des Eaux, roughly translated as the magic dancing waters, perform for about 15 minutes every December before the latest animated movie. So it's a family thing. Generations of kids have happy memories of this, and my dimples hurt the next day from grinning ear to ear. It is just so silly and wonderful.
Did you go this year?
I did.
You go every year. Okay, Lisa, thank you so much. May it stand for another 90 years. We're going to leave you with images of this extraordinary, surviving and thriving movie theatre. Thanks for watching. See you next time.